Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 167 of the High Sensitivity Podcast, and thank you for listening. If it's your first time here, we talk about video game and movie news, as well as what we watched or played over the week. My name is Barry, and I am returned by my two co-hosts.
My name is Craig, back from the heavens, or whatever the heck you guys said last week, wherever I was. I have come down with much knowledge to spread amongst man and woman and child.
We just called you the dominant Craig last
Yes,
week.
that's right, the dominant. Dominic. I mean, Craig Clive, same letters.
It's
Amount of
true.
letters.
Sid, Clive. Yeah. My name is also Craig. Back to full strength, if you will. Powered up to level 99.
Do I hear a Kamehameha?
I wasn't gonna go Dragon Ball. I was gonna go straight RPG, and I feel like 99's a max in RPGs, right?
Most,
Except WoW. I don't know what it is in Final Fantasy. I'm sorry, I don't know what the max is.
We haven't gotten there. We haven't played that many hours into it.
No, not
but
yet.
What we have put enough hours into is the news this week. So this week there isn't a lot. I'm going to be completely honest. We're kind of in the dead zone here. It's a nice calming ground after 16. It feels like you have to put so many hours into it. But a little bit of game news on my end. Two of the ones I have is NBA 2K24 has been announced. Kobe Bryant is the cover athlete, and they are now announcing the kind of the biggest feature. They're adding crossplay to it. It feels like it's only a matter of time, where everybody should already have crossplay, but sports games do tend to be the slowest of all of them to ever add anything into anything. So, crossplay isn't the biggest important feature to me in NBA, and it's probably a very... Unless you're the ones that are, like, playing the park and all the online stuff, like, crossplay doesn't really matter to me. It's more about... how do you streamline your GM mode so I'm not lost in 17 different menus of trying to figure out how to, get my Tyrese Maxey to a better three-point shooting sort of stuff. So it just feels like there's too many menus. Hopefully, more of the game is streamlined, but crossplay is a big step, and I guess it's the first step. And also, like, Kobe Bryant being on the cover the first time since his accident.
Yeah.
Just to honor him and things like that. Kobe actually kind of grew up close to where I used to be. So he's kind of, while a Laker legend, also kind of like a local person to us as well.
Yeah.
I had to look on and off.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say legend on and off the court is what he is. Go ahead, Craig.
I had to look on my shelf because I was like, I feel like it wasn't that long ago, but it was 2K21 when he was on the cover.
Yeah. Yep.
That was right after he passed. So it's been 3 years. Makes sense, it being 24, to put him on the cover. I hate that every year I'm like, I'm not buying the special collector's edition anymore. And then I did last year because there was Jordan on the cover. And now this year I'm like, dang it.
Yeah.
Here we go again.
Yep.
It's like they're sitting in your home and they're just like waiting and they're like, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar seems like a good one. And you're like, well, of course I'm going to get the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar edition.
Yep. It's crazy. I hate that.
We need a Wilt edition. That's what I need.
Yes.
Yeah. Wilt
okay.
I don't know if there's... I think that if you put just a standard awesome all-star on there, I'm going to want to buy it. Carmelo, I would get it. Bill Russell, I would get it. Kareem, I would get it. Larry Bird, I would get it. Like, I don't know. This is bad. I'm finding something out about myself. Oh,
yep.
No.
Anything Allen Iverson, I would get.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, anytime I see, like, last year, like, a Michael Jordan is a given. Like, I'm going to want whatever that is. This one I'll probably end up getting. I'm actually tossing up in the air between getting the Kobe one that's 100, I believe, or just getting the digital one that's 150 and comes with the NBA League Pass for the year.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? That's a good deal. I won't have a physical copy, though, which is kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I was like, I buy these and I kept my 2K21 because of Kobe on the cover. And I was like, I could, is it worth it not to have that Kobe cover to get a year of League Pass?
To be fair, League Pass is pretty good. I can't.
It is. It's definitely a good deal because you're getting all the stuff that comes with the $100 version, So you're basically
Mhm.
paying the $50 for League Pass. But yeah, it's kind of, I'm still up in the air on what I'm going to do there. Do I want the Kobe cover? Do I want League Pass? I still got a little bit of time. I think it comes out August, something like that.
Yes. Mm,
Yeah, next month.
August. Yeah.
Ugh.
But then lastly for me, and no, wait, no, I had two more. Pokemon Sleep hands-on demo has been released by the Pokemon Company, kind of in a weird trailer where much like most of these apps, you need to have your phone on. It like registers like when you're moving in your sleep and things like that. I just thought it was interesting because this has been a feature that's long been worked on by Pokemon, but now we're finally starting to see it actually be a thing. There's still no release date for it, but it's going to be very interesting to see like how much can Pokemon invade my life, which I know we've had a discussion on
Yes.
before.
Pokemon has reinvented walking for a lot of individuals, including myself, and now they're reinventing sleep.
You gonna
So,
download it?
Yeah, I'll definitely try it.
Okay.
I got
I
I got
wonder,
to
like,
get
my phone isn't like next to me when I'm sleeping. Like, I don't charge it right next to my bed. So that in my mind, I'm like, I probably wouldn't even work for me then, right?
Yeah, I
Because you
don't
need to
know.
have it close,
Yeah.
how close is the question?
right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, they say like for optimal results, put it on your bed and face up, and it's like no one's doing that. Especially
Mm-mm.
like if you're a thrasher like me that sleeps, like my phone will be up in the ceiling uh, at
Yep.
some point. So it's just an interesting thing, you know. There's Pokemon toothbrushing. There's Pokemon Go, which also is being shut down now. Is a
Mm.
little
Yes.
bit of news there. But now it can invade my sleep, so I could essentially. And there's Pokemon Cafe, which has to do with food, but it doesn't give you like physical food. So it's like I guess I could almost just make my entire day Pokemon related.
Yeah.
Good.
New idea. Hello Fresh, but with Pokemon. How has somebody not done that already?
They
Well,
could use the
there's
food they have in the Pokemon Cafe in Japan, right?
Yeah, there's already pop-up cafes like in
Hmm.
Japan. Like in Japan, I guess you could live a total Pokemon lifestyle if you wanted to.
They have hotels too.
Yep.
Which is what we all want, a complete Pokemon lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Make life a lot easier. Just make them real, I guess.
there you go.
And then lastly for my news story, it's kind of a weird one that's personal to me, but EA Sports bought the naming rights for Spain's soccer league La Liga. So,
Ooh.
and as we already
Ooh.
know, like there's no FIFA in EA Sports FC this year. FIFA is like foregone their contract and feel they both didn't want to renew it because it cost too much money. I guess for EA's rich pockets or FIFA's rich pockets, depending on which one you're looking at. And they announced the names of it will be La Liga EA Sports, but then there's a second division to soccer that you can get promoted from and things like that. I know Americans really aren't aware of this stuff, but with the La Liga, they've now renamed the second league La Liga Hypermotion, based off of the feature in EA Sports' FIFA games or like FC games. It was just one of the weirder things where gaming and sports are combining because EA Sports now owns the naming rights for the league, and
Mhm.
I just thought it hilarious that you named the second like league as Hypermotion, a feature in your EA Sports game. So weird, and I understand if nobody has any thoughts on this, but I just
That's
Well,
such a weird name.
being a resident Spaniard, I'm just like
Oh my god.
that's all the news I have.
All right. Man, how do I follow that one? That one's out there.
yeah.
All right. Apple is planning to do appointment only rollouts for the VR headset, and they're also scaling back production. Um, I guess is how I thought, but then again, there's a lot of Apple people who will buy whatever they put out, regardless of price. But I thought it was interesting that it's appointment only to get one of these things. They're not going to let you just like walk in and purchase one. Very interesting.
Maybe they have to help you like set up your account or get it linked with like I'm not sure
Maybe.
if like that comes with like this whole thing because you'd think the
Hmm.
appointment is just showing up, getting your VR or augmented reality thing, and then going back home to set it up. Maybe
Right.
there's something they have to do beforehand in order to get it registered on Apple's, system or whatever. Or maybe they like tell you how to set it up, but that's also easily done in a pamphlet. I
Right.
feel
I
like
could,
so.
I could see Apple doing that. I mean, we know. I remember reading an article way back when about how much money Apple actually puts even into their unboxing. Just so that
Mhm.
the user feels like even the friction that you get when you first open the box to how it unravels. They put a lot of money into that. So like that could also be where they're spinning it as well as the user experience. You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
Right.
So
Yeah, maybe they just want to have, like, you're spending this insane amount of money. They want you to just be this, like, everybody's going to look at you getting this at the Apple store and be so jealous of this VIP treatment you're getting.
yes.
So
I
then
can
you
see that.
want one, I guess. That would be
Yeah. Yeah.
that's
Ah,
really
Miss
the
And be
only
like,
Nimona.
no,
motive.
you can't have one. You got to make an appointment, sir.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Invite
Sir.
only. All right, next one, a little bit of movie news. I thought this was cool. Jennifer Garner is going to be in Deadpool 3. She's coming back as Elektra. That's pretty
Let's
sweet.
go. Let's go.
That's on top of.
I never saw her as Elektra, so
You
for
never
me,
saw the movie?
no, I did not.
Ah,
Was
you're
was
not
she in the
missing much.
Daredevil movie with Ben Affleck
She
as well?
was.
And then
That's
they
how
gave
she
her
got the
her own.
spinoff. Yep.
Yep. Yep. I think that's a good idea. This is on top of photos coming out this week of Ryan Reynolds in costume filming some scenes for Deadpool. So they are still moving along on that. But, I think that's smart. You're bringing back Wolverine, you bring in Elektra. Who knows who else is going to show up? Maybe we get a Ben Affleck Daredevil to show up in this movie. That would be hilarious.
Yeah,
To
that'd
be
be a
able to pull
callback.
him in would be so crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would blow my mind. Let me tell you. Cameo of all cameos right there.
Yeah, for
Um,
real.
and then the last one here, I'm going to end it on a little bit of a sadder note. But Emil, and I believe his last name is pronounced Morel or Moral. He died this week at 40. He was the creative designer for Beyond Good and Evil 2. So he died suddenly, very young age. And a game that I had given up all hope for, but apparently is still in production somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
I
And
don't
now
even know.
and now who knows what's happening with it too? Like,
Right.
the human life comes before the game, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So, it but we haven't heard anything about this game in a long time, and
Yep.
probably people who were close to him probably need time off as well. So,
Mm-hmm.
hopefully they give them that chance to mourn him.
Right. And it was kind of like I read that and then kind of buried in there that was like, yeah, this game is still in production. And I thought we had heard somewhere along the lines that it wasn't, but I think it might still be in pre-production, maybe. So will I ever see this in my lifetime? I sure hope so, because as I've stated before, Beyond Good and Evil is like one of my favorite games of all time. So I would love to see a second one, but I'm not gonna hold my breath.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I had.
Now, Craig, lift us up. Lift
Mm-hmm.
us up.
I mean, I don't have a lot. The first one is kind of solemn. It's the developer of Gollum, Datalek Studios. They recently laid off 25 employees and stopped production of the what was baffling to most of us Lord of the Rings game that they announced pretty shortly after Gollum got dropped. Um, the reason why I bring it up is it's kind of like eye opening the pressure. Like we've seen multiple stories of pressures that are happening on developers um, and just in general the employees. We've seen terrible work environments. We've seen improved work environments, but it just goes to show you the landscape. Gollum essentially is the biggest flop of the year, and some can argue the biggest flop of the last 5 years at least. And already there is a paradigm shift in the studio that had its hands on it. So I don't know. I didn't play Gollum. I know that the three of us looked at it and didn't want to play Gollum. Gollum is what
Oh, I
effectively
played
made.
it.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Sorry, I must
Somebody
have
had to
thrown.
take that bullet for the team.
Yeah,
Even though it was your game, Craig. That
Yeah,
was your
it
I.
game to
was
That's
play.
what
yours.
I was. That's what I was getting to. Is it effectively made me lose my game of the year chances
Yep.
from last year? Good lord. But it does go to show kind of eye opening how something where there is a higher promise and fail to deliver. Um, I mean, it's worse. It had a worse reaction than Redfall, which had a pretty terrible reaction as well. So I thought that was pretty interesting news. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but
I
Well,
mean,
and due to the FTC stuff that has come out, like we kind of now learn how much it takes to cost some of these AAA games, and maybe we didn't think of Gollum as a AAA game, but they had come out and said that games like Horizon Forbidden West take $300 million in production to make, um, and I think it was also like Last of Us 2 also cost 200 million in production to make. So it is, for a lot of these like gaming companies, it's one game, and if it's not good, you're in trouble.
yep,
And
yep,
then you have to start looking at cuts, much how I feel like businesses are nowadays. They post a bad earning quarter or month or year, and it's like, all right, we got to look at laying off employees. It seems to be the first thing everybody goes for, instead of maybe scaling back and going, hey, where did this go wrong? How do we fix it? It's just like, yes, let's save money by cutting people.
yeah,
yeah.
employees are the first to go now.
Hmm. That
But
reminds me too. That was kind of lost, I think, last week, but there are some details that leaked out about Last of Us 3 coming,
Yeah, yeah,
and that
there
kind of
is.
came out of nowhere because I really didn't think we'd get another one. But it seems like from those leaks, it's going to be based on other people in
Yeah,
in the universe, not like the main characters we're used to. So that could be interesting.
yeah, and like from a business side, we saw how successful HBO Max's rendition of The Last of Us was.
Excuse me, it's just Max now.
Oh, it's just Max. It's just Max. Yeah, I had to re-download that app when they
Hmm.
changed it. So I guess, barring all that, they're going to take it and they're going to run with it because what do you do when you see this successful of a not only first game, but a second game and then a successful TV series? You make a universe, you run with it. So, like I'm excited, more Last of Us is always good, right? As long
As
as
long
they
as they
do it
don't
right.
mess it up.
Yeah.
I feel like it's
So,
in such a perfect place right now. I'd hate to see them be like, "Oh, we need to put one out because it's going to make so much money," and then they put out an inferior story, and it kind of ruins our view on it a little bit.
yeah.
yeah. Like Last of Us 2 still affects me in ways that like not other games like have. Like the
Yep.
Yeah. Even the first one.
hospital scene with Ellie, like
Hmm.
especially that one is the one I think about constantly.
Yep.
And just like I was kind of hoping that 3 would at least take maybe the Abby, like maybe do something with Abby and her getting to that maybe safe haven that they had
Sure.
talked about and things like that, and continuing the story
Yeah.
from there. But I think in a way they're smart, maybe going away from anybody who's related from those first two games and just switching pace and going to some new characters in that world, because there has to be some other interesting stuff. I just hope
Yeah.
that they tell a different story with it. Like it can't just be a reskin of Joel and Ellie. It needs to be, something different.
Mhm.
Probably Romeo and Juliet style. I feel like that could work.
Yeah. Intertwine some of the other events in like the background, maybe that we know
Yeah.
Some
going
callback.
on, and
Yeah.
yeah, that could be cool.
Yeah, we'll see what they do with it.
Hmm.
Can you recreate something as successful and as heart warming as Joel and Ellie? I don't know. What dynamics do you have? Do you have an actual mother daughter or father son? Like, what do you do? Do you do a whole family? Do you do like what do you do? You know,
Hmm.
but I trust in them. It'll be good. It
Yeah.
has to be, right?
Yeah. Like 6 years from now.
Exactly.
The last one I have is more of a public service announcement, building off of something that probably everybody has seen or read. My PlayStation 5 is fine, and I have played about probably 40 to 50 hours of Final Fantasy 16. I'm sure you all
Mine's
know that
alive
it
as
has,
well.
yeah, it's been overheating PlayStation 5s left and right. And I read that when I was like 20 hours into the game, and I was surprised because I have not seen smoke come out of mine. Barry, how's your PS5?
Yeah, as far as I know, it's fine. Like some of the stories I read are like people who have been putting like LED lights like
Right.
inside of their PlayStations and things like that, so that way it just doesn't glow white, yellow, or blue. The four colors that the PlayStation decides to put off. And
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the time too, people don't understand that they're a lot like computers and they need space in order
Mm-hmm.
to like dissipate their heat. Like you can't just put it in a closed door cabinet
Yeah.
and like I don't even hear my PlayStation. Like that's the
Nope.
thing. Like I don't know why everybody's talking about it like overheating because I don't even hear the fans wind up. And maybe it's just because I have the game volume too loud. Regardless, I
Yeah.
haven't I haven't seen any issues with mine, which thankfully and hopefully a majority of people are okay cuz let's see here. If you bought even a 2-year protection plan on your PS5, it's been out long enough where if it's overheating and dies, you're not getting protection from Sony, and you're not getting protection from any like
Yep.
people you had bought it from. So if your PlayStation is now broken because of it, I do wonder if there's any sort of backup plan that Sony goes, "Hey, if it's not of any fault of you, maybe we can replace your PS5." At least luckily they're readily available now. But
Right.
imagine like let's take this back 2 years ago. Final Fantasy 16 comes out. Your PlayStations are overheating. How do you get how, how do you get replacements with none of them on the
Yeah.
shelves?
You can't even
For
find one.
real. For
You
real.
know, it's I just like the last boss battle that I did. I was as I'm playing, I'm like, well, if this isn't
Mm.
the one that overheats my console, I think I'm good to go because, like,
Mm.
yeah. And also, it was like I was playing and it's dark. I have all the lights off in my living room. I have the volume jacked up, and it's just like bright lights flashing everywhere. And I'm just like, I even looked. I was like, I don't see any smoke. I think I'm good. I think I'm past the point of if it was going to overheat, it probably would have at this point because it really felt like it felt like it was pushing that PS5, maybe not to the limit, but it was pushing it for sure.
What letter does the boss start with? Or
It's a B.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was
It's
just like,
quite what
man,
that's yeah.
yeah, there's a lot. And I was just like, I think I'm good. But yeah, I think people do tend to shove them in tight spaces and not realize Xbox or PlayStation or even a Switch, really. You got to let them breathe. They got to have some space, some airflow, something. Also, doesn't hurt to clean them every once in a while, guys.
Yeah.
It doesn't. And the panels are very easy to pull off. Even an idiot like me can do it. I was like, when I first did the video or like looked at somebody do it and did it myself, I thought I was going to snap one of those panels in half. They come off like very easily, and you don't break your warranty by just doing a straight up just fan
Yep.
on there or just get the dust out of there. So,
Yep.
But all right, so then
that
that's you said that was it, right?
yeah, I was going to try to do a Barry transition by say that's a good
Ooh.
transition maybe into the games that we played this week. I don't know if we're going
Boom.
right to there because
Yeah, that was good. Sorry I interrupted you. I'm sorry. I
no,
should have.
no,
How dare
You
you?
you came back from break. You're refreshed. You wanted to
Yep.
jump in. I shut you
He
down.
was
That's
ready. He was ready.
yeah, I wasn't dominant enough. If you know what I mean, get it?
the dominant is not
Nice.
dominant enough.
Nice. Well done.
For games this week, we at least have a little bit of a break here, as I mentioned before. For me, the only thing I played is the Pikmin 4 demo.
Busy. You were real busy.
I was.
I mean, besides Final Fantasy, obviously, I played the AEW Fight Forever, and then I also played Darkwood.
I'd love to hear about that. I put 15 hours in it eons ago on the Switch.
Darkwood.
Eons. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to hear your take on it. So I don't have a lot of watching because, like, I came back from my hiatus in the heavens and as a
But
dominant.
what about that homework assignment I gave you?
Oh my god!
Can you get an
Are you?
extension?
I might. Yeah, you might have to give me an extension, Barry. I forgot about it.
Wow.
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 But
I was
besides
on
that,
vacation.
you
Yeah.
just played a bunch of Final Fantasy.
I played Final Fantasy. I actually had to write these down. I played Alone. Well, Grace in the Dark, the demo.
Yep.
I played Dave the Diver. I played Demonologist with my wife and some friends. I beat TMT Shredder's Revenge with my wife.
That's a good one.
And I started Walking Dead for some stupid reason. I've been playing games.
Yeah.
A lot of them haven't been finished or just started, so we don't have to go. I don't have to go through everything, or I could spitfire them. But
Well,
the main
I
one I
just want to
wanted,
ask with the Walking Dead, you mean the Telltale game?
yes,
Oh
Okay.
wow, you're going way back.
yeah, I saw it. I've been wanting to play it for like a long time. It's on Game Pass and
Go ahead and
it's
spitfire.
revered.
Go ahead. I'll let you cook. Like I didn't
Let
let
him
you cook
cook.
early. I didn't let you cook earlier. You're gonna cook
It's
now.
true. Cook it
All
up.
right, all right. TMT Shredder's Revenge. Play it. It's a classic TMT game. If you play Turtles in Time, if you played any of the games from back in the day, it's awesome. It'll take 2.5 hours of your time, maybe, depending on how long it takes to beat the stages. It's a great game. You could play as Shredder and April too as well, which is dope. But I went with my main man Donatello because it's the bow staff.
That's the correct choice.
Um, yeah. Um, Grace in the Dark.
All 10 minutes
I'm
of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna want to play it, but like I was gonna
Hmm.
play it with my wife. Well, I did play it with my wife. I gave her the controller and it was over.
Hmm.
I thought it was a good idea that they had you play as Grace, who will inevitably be the girl that's missing in the Alone in the Dark game. But there's a couple of baddie jump scares.
Yep.
I'm gonna play it. I wanted to play it before the demo, but it's not gonna be. There's a lot of games coming out September, October, November. I don't know when I'll play it, but I'm
No
going to
kidding.
want to.
Hmm.
Um, Walking Dead episode 1. It's revered for a reason. It's the telltale to telltale all telltales.
Nice.
It is the formula for which a telltale should be done. I'm only a couple hours into it, but I do like how they almost create a Joel and Ellie idea with the I'm forgetting the guy's name, but Clementine.
Clementine, and yeah.
Clementine.
I forget the
Why is
guy's
she
name.
the one we remember? Why can
Because
I
she's
not remember
important.
his name? I know Clementine's important, but like you should remember his name. You play as him for
Let me
most
look
of
it
the
When
up.
episodes.
when she first popped up on the screen while you're looking that up, Craig, I
Yep.
decided that there is no way in heck that she is dying under my watch. I will
Yeah.
not do it. And that's what's supposed to happen. So,
Yeah.
um
And I
Dave
think
the
it'd be
Diver,
Lee.
Lee. Yep.
Lee.
Yep.
Yep. Anyways.
Dave the Diver, please play this
The
game. Please play
game's wild.
this game. The game is wild. In short, you're a guy named Dave, very laughable, kind of buffoon type of guy. He gets a call from a friend in the past. The guy wants him to essentially run a sushi place with I don't want to say like down and out cook, but he's a good cook. All right. But essentially, what you're doing is by day, you are diving into the deep, exploring their separate storylines that I haven't even run into yet. But you're essentially gathering what will be the menu for the sushi place that you run at night. So they got the day night cycle. It reminds me of a lot of games that have successfully done this recently. I don't know. It like there's certain the formula has been done differently and similar by other games. I mean, you could even say Cult of the Lamb does it, but in a different way. You go out to do these roguelike battles to then go back and do it. Like that's just the first game that came to my head. Long story short, it's got a booming soundtrack. Um, a lot of throwback to older video games in the style. You could tell the Japan influence, the JRPG influence as well. You have to manage your inventory system while you're diving. There's fish you got to collect. There's sharks you got to dodge. It's great. Look it up if you haven't seen a trailer. Dave the Diver. I'm sure you heard about it if you're at least a medium gamer, and there's a
Hmm.
reason why. Um, the one that I really wanted to talk about is Demonologist. And I hate that I'm taking the floor, but I just really want to just get this out here. PSA. Sometimes you're somebody like me who just wants to play a great demon hunting game and you look up Phasmaphobia. You start playing Phasmaphobia with your friends and you realize that there's certain things missing. The entire group that created Demonologist saw this and was like, what can we do with Phas and make it better? It's just what it is. Um, long story short, for those of you who don't know Phasmaphobia or Demonologist, you're essentially with a group of up to 4 friends, I believe. I know I've played with 4. You go into a different locations, hospital, abandoned house, whatever, and your job is to identify what malevolent force is occupying that area. And you have a bunch of tools, and you have to basically identify it without dying. So you have a certain amount of time before the force becomes violent, but it will play with you before it does. Now, what Demonologist does differently that Faz is lacking on is a better inventory system, because the inventory system in Faz, I hate it. I'm sorry. Those of you who have played know what I'm talking about. It's really hard to buy things and then get it into your loadout, but like make sure it's in your loadout. Whatever. They did that right. What Demonologist also did right is it looks better, but they have a lot of jump scares throughout that just keep you on edge. There was a section in an abandoned house where I was playing with my friends and my wife, and I was coming up the stairs, and there's a television at the top of the stairs, and they literally just like Girl from the Ringed you. Like some girl pops out, she crawls down the stairs at you, and then she just dissipates. She's not even the malevolent force that is occupying the area. So for those of you like myself, scaredy cat or not, I go in the scaredy cat area. For those of you who are looking for a time where you could just find a demon or a djinn or whatever and are trying to find some type of release, Demonologist is getting the praise that it deserves. So I recommend it. Play it, please. And I think that's the end of my Spitfire until we talk about Final Fantasy 16 if we want. I still haven't beaten it yet.
Also, Demonologist is like 10.50 right now on Steam sale.
Yes. Thank you, Craig.
They're cheap. I might actually have to pick it up. It's in like my wish list. I just haven't picked it up yet. But yeah, that's a good price for it.
Yeah, and also a caveat for people like Barry and myself: if you do die in Demonologist, this is what I was worried about because I didn't die
Not
for like
dying
the
because
first
you're not
couple of
playing it.
rounds.
Yeah, he's not
The
playing it.
the death scenes are.
You mentioned the ring. You
Yeah, let's
mentioned
do it.
the ring scene. No, I
We're
ain't
gonna
touching this
we're
game.
all gonna play it. We're gonna stream it. Only Barry's gonna stream it so we can see him, and we'll have a good time.
The death scenes, Barry, specifically talking to Barry and Barry only. The death scenes are not that scary. I thought that the first time I died, I was gonna want to stop playing the game because I thought it was gonna be some ridiculous jumping at my face, me getting up and throwing my headset down. No, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
Now, is it
Fair.
Can you play it in VR yet, or is it just on like regular Steam and stuff? I didn't see any
I
VR
think it's
port
just on Steam, right?
because
I
like
think it's just Steam.
Phasmophobia really gained
Oh yeah,
some momentum once it went to Steam, or once it went VR. So it seems
right.
like this would also be the perfect game to go in VR.
This is
Yeah,
still early access, right?
yeah. I think
Demonologist,
it
I
can.
think it is.
It says
I think
released
March.
Oh,
It's
okay.
it's March. I think it's March is when it dropped.
March twenty
Okay.
seventh, 2023.
All right, cool. Yeah, I might have to pick that up tonight then.
Is it
I'm
made
still
by?
been. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, is it made by the same developer?
I
That
don't
I
know.
don't think. If it is, they are definitely cannibalizing themselves because it is essentially a Faz killer unless you're playing Faz in VR.
Clock Wizard Games. I don't believe that's the developer for them. So
I'm still trying to convince myself that I have the abilities to beat going up as well. So like I have to
yeah,
balance my time if I add this in because I like to set aside like an hour or two every couple days to see if I can beat that game as well. Still haven't beat it. I know I talked about it last week, but I'm gonna get there.
I feel like that game would make me more angry than the entire playthrough of Elden Ring or any
That's fair.
Souls-like game. I've seen people fall.
Hmm.
It looks like it's just
Actually,
angering.
it doesn't make me that mad. I haven't gotten like super angry at it. I'm just kind of like, okay, I'm done. You just take a break.
yeah, that's the difference. I think is people streaming it are like, all right, people are streaming it for me to get
Yep.
angry at it.
Mm-hmm.
Where once you fail once or twice, you can just be, you know what? I'm gonna turn it off and play Final Fantasy instead.
Exactly. I'm going back. I'm going back to Final Fantasy where I know I can win.
But yeah, no,
Okay.
you were talking about only up, Craig. So if you want to continue
Sure.
your game stuff,
Yeah,
So
only
so
only up.
they just added Darkwood as Games with Gold on Xbox, so it's
Okay.
free. It's free to pick up and keep forever. Um, Such a different style of. I mean, would you call it a horror game, Craig? I think it is, right? Suspense. It's
Yeah, it's
weird.
got to be.
It's a top down, heavy on resource management,
Yep.
collecting items, building, surviving. But all the while, it's just this weird, eerie feeling while you're playing it and you're trying to figure out what's going on. The prologue is done fantastically, and it's such a good way to get you invested in the game, where you're just like, "What is happening? What are we doing?" But yeah, I've played like a couple hours so far, and I'm enjoying what I've played. I had never heard of it before I saw it on Games with Gold, and then I was looking at all the reviews, and people are like, "Be like, oh man, the first good Games with Gold in a while," and I'm like, "Well, hold on, we just had Hoa, so
Yeah.
let's relax a
Yeah.
little bit."
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is something everybody should check out if you're into that style of game. And normally I'm not, but for whatever reason, this one's sticking with me. I
Cool.
would not really jump scares. It's just like an uneasy kind of feeling to the game, right, Craig?
Yeah, the world is good,
Yeah,
and the way they get you is you have to do a certain amount. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. The night plays a big part of it.
yeah,
You have to do your resources and go out into the world and do all this because like nightfall, it
and then
gets
you're
crazy.
like fortify your windows and your doors so nothing can get in and that kind of stuff. Yeah,
It's
but
good.
yeah,
I enjoyed
it's
it.
definitely worth checking out for free. If
Yeah.
you have
Yeah,
an Xbox, you might as well download it. If you hate it, you still own it, so you can just delete it off your hard drive. It's not that it takes up that much space.
yeah.
But yeah, and then AEW Fight Forever. The I don't even know how you want to qualify the other option to buying WWE. You have AEW over here, just like people who watch wrestling. You have those two options out there for you. This game's garbage. Let me just throw that out there. So here's the thing, and I don't want to get in the middle of this and
Oh
like
my
the arguments that are inevitably going to happen, but if you are even remotely tied into like watching wrestling and pay-per-views, there is a war between fans of WWE and AEW, and there's an overwhelming support for AEW that everything they do is awesome and everything WWE does is not, and vice versa, right? WWE fans are like AEW sucks. So this is a interesting one to look at reviews because you'll see a bunch that'll be like, "This game's great. It reminds me of playing No Mercy on Nintendo 64." And I'm having so much fun playing it. But objectively, when you step back and look at it, this game's been delayed numerous times, and the final product is just straight garbage. It
oh
doesn't
jeez.
control well. The character models look terrible. This looks like a man. I don't even know, PS3, Xbox 360 graphic
Hmm.
wise. It's just not good. The story mode is not good. It's a game that like if you're an AEW fan, you might get more time out of it. But even then, I feel like you play this for more than a couple hours, and you're just going to be like, I'm bored.
Yeah.
Um, I think, in my opinion, I think the WWE games do a better job of giving you things to do to continuously play. Whereas this is like, here's a story mode. And then after you're done with that, and it's like 4 or 5 hours, then you can, I don't know, do normal matches or whatever, barbed wire matches if you want. Which would be fine if it controlled well and it looked good, but it just doesn't. It just looks like they gave up, kind of like Gollum, right? Where they're just like, well, this is what it is. We'll put it out, and better luck next year or something. Not that I mean WWE did that too. That famous 2K20 debacle that was awful. And this is AEW's first attempt at a video game, so I want to cut them a little slack, but it's still going in my worst games of the year column at the end of
Yeah.
the day. So this is a definite pass for me.
It looks bad. I'm looking up some
It's
images right
bad.
now. It
It's
looks
so
pretty
bad.
bad.
It's
It
bad.
does look. Ugh.
Yeah, I
Ugh.
do wonder, like, the only thing that I can think of or anything like that is just the fact that this is their first soiree into, like, their game kind of
Right.
thing. Maybe they slowly build themselves up. Maybe next game is better graphics,
The,
next,
you know,
so on
they
and so forth.
everybody's saying that they're like, oh, this is their first attempt, but the company that made it, which is Ukes, they're the ones who made the WWE games for years and years and years and years up until like 2 years ago. It
Oh,
was
okay.
always Ukes. They have a pedigree for making good wrestling games, and they're kind of, to me, they're trying to cover it by like, oh, well, we were going for that old school style of graphics. No, you weren't. You just went halfway and were like, oh, this isn't going to look good. Let's just say this is how it's supposed to look. And maybe then people won't hold it against us. There's a difference between going for a retro style graphics and just bad graphics. And this is just bad graphics. That's all it
Yeah.
is. It's not retro.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not buying it.
I'm not buying it. I'll tell you
No.
that.
No. Please don't.
One thing that I may be able to convince you guys to maybe try or buy
Uh-oh.
is Pikmin 4.
The
Sure.
Pikmin pitch.
I played
the
Pikmin 3.
Yeah.
Did you like Pikmin 3?
I did. I didn't finish it, but I thought it was good.
Yeah, and like one thing I'll get into is I'm kind of very I don't have a lot of opinions on Pikmin. I remember playing the first one on GameCube. Definitely didn't finish it. Haven't tried 2 or 3, so this is kind of my big jump into Pikmin since everything here. I didn't play 3 even though it did come out on Switch. I'm playing 4, and to be honest, I'm not sure if it's just because I'm older and sometimes I require maybe a game that doesn't, you know, it feels like this game is nice and like I guess relaxing and like just makes me use my brain in a simple way.
Mm-hmm.
But I've enjoyed what I've played of the demo. The dog that you get to hang out with, it's kind of like a walking almost mobile unit tank where I can throw my
Ooh.
Pikmin on it. I can ride him and he can ram into stuff. I can throw my Pikmin
Okay.
from him. It's like this extra traversal thing that I haven't experienced in really any of the Pikmin games. I do like that there's still some familiarity in which like most of the colors of the Pikmin still do what they did, and I recognize them still. So it's like that familiarity, but it kind of brings me back to older Age of Empire games, but like it's not war, it's Pikmin instead.
Okay.
And and I will say the game is very pretty. I didn't play it docked, I played on handheld, and I was extremely impressed with how like simple the game looked because the demo drops you in what essentially is like a real light Japan living room is what I'll say. There's TVs there. There's a TV. There's furniture and things like that, and you're collecting your Pikmin and destroying this weird hedgehog-looking thing. Not related to Sonic in any way. It's a literal hedgehog, is what it looks like.
It's not blue.
Yeah, it's not blue.
Okay. All right.
But regardless, it's enough for me to buy the game. Like I am going to try out Pikmin, and I think there is a chance that this one sticks more than any of the other ones I've played. And maybe it's because I have the brain capacity to understand this game. Maybe that's what it is, because definitely younger me did not have the attention span, most likely. But like overall, I definitely think people should play the demo, and it's free. So why not give
Fair.
it a shot? If you're new to Pikmin, I don't think you should be scared of like Pikmin 4. To be completely honest, I think this is a good jumping on point, and I'm interested to see how the game performs.
Cool.
All right.
Fair.
But that's what we have for gaming. We now move on to movies and TV shows we watched this week. I'm locked out of my Netflix account, so I can't watch The Witcher and Nimona like I wanted to. So I haven't watched anything in turn.
Nice.
We are going to depend on. I'm going to depend on the Craigs here.
Okay. I have 3.
Just one. Good. Good.
I watched the Netflix movie Outlaws with Pierce Brosnan and Adam Devine. I watched Nimona, and then on Max, I almost said HBO Max, I watched the Shaun White The Last Run documentary.
Okay.
How about you, Craig?
Uh,
Nothing.
So based off of the laundry list of games that I just listed that have kept me occupied, I haven't watched a lot either. So I really don't have. This is going to be one Craig that we're relying on, not 2.
That's fair. Okay. start with Outlaws. This one just came out on Friday, this past Friday. This is a comedy around Adam Devine and Nina Dobrev. Dobrev. How do I say her last name? I always get it wrong. Dobre, I think. I don't think
Gonna
you
have to look it
pronounce
up.
the V. But anyway, they are engaged to get married, and her parents are coming to the wedding, and he's never met them. And it turns out that they are uh, criminals, bank robbers. Is probably the easiest way to put it. This movie is fine. It's entirely forgettable. I didn't hate my hour and a half time with it, but there's worse
Oof.
ways you could spend your time. Now the rating on Rotten Tomatoes is low.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
just saw.
yeah,
Oof.
like
That's an
20
oof.
something, right?
20
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't think it's that bad. I think it's entertaining. I just don't think it's anything you'd ever need to watch again, right?
Got it.
It's just a straight action comedy, really. Nothing new here is done, but I don't think it's as bad as it's rated there. I can tie right into the Shaun White documentary because Shaun White is also his partner is Nina, so that kind of ties in that she shows up
Oh
in this
yeah.
documentary as well.
Nice transition.
Um, Here's what I'll say about this documentary. I don't know about you guys, but like since I grew up skateboarding, I never really snowboarded, but skateboarding is such a big part of my youth and life. Shaun White was in turn a huge part because not only was he like one of the best, if not the best snowboarder, he was also a very good skateboarder. And this was a very interesting documentary. It's really kind of following his last Olympics, which was last year, 2022. But it also gives you his whole story. And I just thought the whole thing to me was fascinating. His life is crazy. And you kind of get to see him like getting older, trying to keep up with these younger generation, learning new tricks and realizing that, man, maybe I am just too old to do this anymore. And that kind of stuff. So if you have an interest in Shaun White, I think you'll enjoy it. If you don't, it's hard to say. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like Barry, do you know who Shaun White is?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and he had video games, right? He had Shaun White. He was in
He did.
snowboarding
He
and
did.
skateboarding games. He was a pop culture icon for a while there. I think he technically probably still is.
Yeah, I think he's
Um,
probably the equivalent of like a Tony
Tony
Hawk.
Hawk.
Like Tony
Yep.
Hawk
yeah,
is more
yeah,
I think Tony Hawk still is in popularity wise
right.
still higher than Sean,
Hmm.
but definitely was like kind of the equivalent
Yeah,
of him.
and it was at the time where like when I was younger, I was watching Tony Hawk at the X Games, and then when Tony Hawk retired, it's like he took Shaun White under his wings and like coached him to be a good skateboarder as well. So he
Yeah.
just kind of took over for him. But yeah, it's a I really enjoyed it. It's like 4 parts, so it's about 4 hours to watch.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then Nimona on also on Netflix. This is the one Barry wanted to watch, but he couldn't because he was locked out.
Ah.
Do you like
Um,
it?
it's really good. It's
Oh,
really
good.
good.
Thank you. Yes.
It's done very well. Nimona is a girl who can turn into just about anything, animal wise, people wise. She's kind of like a shapeshifter. She gets meets up with a person who was framed for murdering the queen, and helps him pretty much kind of prove his innocence. Definitely has its. I believe it's a graphic novel, right? I think
Yes.
is where it
Yes.
came
Yeah.
from.
It's based off of
Is
yeah.
it? I didn't
Um,
know that.
am I right in assuming, without much looking into, that it's kind of based on like trans culture? Is that right? I
That
don't know if
I'm
you.
not sure
Okay.
about. I'm trying to look at it now.
There's a heavy emphasis in this movie. She shapeshifts into a multitude of different things, but there's a heavy emphasis on like she's not accepted because she's not the normal, if that makes sense. The message is very good in this movie, and I thought it was done very well. My daughter and I watched it. We both really enjoyed it. The animation style is very cool. I really like the idea of like this futuristic city, but everybody's dressing like it's like the medieval times, kind of. I think that's really cool. It's a nice like style. And yeah, I just think it's done super well. Definitely everybody should be checking that out. Whether you like it's not. I'm not considering it an anime. It's just an animated movie. I think these random animation style movies that are coming out are doing so much better than like what Pixar's doing because they're trying new things, and Pixar is just sticking to the same old formula. Like nobody went and saw Elemental, right? Like that bombed.
We had not.
It's
No.
it's time to try something new. And I think they need to start looking at some of these other, you know, movies coming out and take some notes from it. But yeah, I really, really like Nimona a lot.
I
Cool.
like what
I'm
I
excited to
see.
watch it.
Yeah.
93 on Metacritic too.
Yeah. It's super high.
Sorry, I mean Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
And like this is also off topic, but we've been referencing Rotten Tomatoes scores.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if you guys saw, but the critic score for the new Mission Impossible movie is at a 99%
Whew.
based off
Ooh,
157 critics.
look
Man.
out, John Wick.
I mean, the last couple Mission Impossibles have been phenomenal.
Yeah,
I've
I never
enjoyed every
watched any.
single. You need to watch them because even the old ones are good, minus the second one. We
Okay,
pretend like
so
the second one doesn't exist.
I do hear that I should. I've asked my friend who's watched all of them. He's like, yeah, 1 and 2 are but then it
Yeah,
gets better as the series goes on.
one is
oh my
one is
God.
iconic to me. The first
Okay,
Mission Impossible was just like iconic. Him hanging from the ceiling, like it has one of the most iconic scenes in movies. The second one is
Yep.
when they brought in John Woo, right? And that's when
Yeah.
like he's like they're like fighting on motorcycles and there's doves flying. It's super like Japanese inspired. But yeah,
The
that
third
one's
one,
weird. Third one's
the
great.
th- the third one I specifically like because of Philip Seymour Hoffman as the
Yes.
antagonist.
Hmm. And then they started over with this newer batch, and every single one of those has been great. The last one with Henry Cavill, whew, that movie's incredible. So
okay,
I'm super excited to see this one.
yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it then. I will.
Hmm.
But I'm gonna watch Nimona next week. Hopefully, we'll have more stuff on Final Fantasy. I don't know how far any of you guys are either, like
About
play
30
wise.
hours.
Craig, you sound like you're the farthest out of all of us. You're probably pretty close.
Yeah, you got to
You
be
might
getting
have to.
As
close.
as of earlier today, based off of how the menu is set up, I have achieved all of the summons
Okay.
or icons or whatever they
Hmm.
call it. So, um, I think I'm close based off of like you know when you get that feeling in a game, especially
Yeah.
a game as linear as that, where you're like, all right, I gotta be at the end. There's no way.
Hmm.
So I'll have it. I'll definitely have it done probably by tomorrow. To be honest with you, maybe later tonight. So
I'm hoping to get it done this week. I've still have done
That's what I want. Yeah.
every single side quest. Um, that also though a point I wanted to bring up with Final Fantasy, because the more I play, like I feel like the higher it's going up my list for the year. But here's something I wanted to point out that's probably going to keep it for sure in my mind, probably out of that top spot, is the lows in this game are so low. And I'm talking about like you do these, I'm not the side missions, the main mission where it's like every time you do a major boss battle, then you go back and it's like, all right, your main mission, go talk to Otto. And then Otto's like, all right, go talk to this person. All right, now go talk to this person. All right, now
Yeah.
go talk to this.
Yeah.
Can
yeah,
we, and specifically the one I did yesterday where it was like I had just done a boss battle and I go back to the main hub and they're like, all right, well, there's 3 people that need help. I'm like, okay, so your main mission is like help this person, and this person, and they're all over the map. And then you go to them, and each person's like, oh, I need help with rounding up some people. Can you go talk to this person? Then you go to that person. Oh, I need you to go find this person who's all the way over there. And then you go
yeah,
kill a couple monsters, and it's like, all right, now you need to go all the way over here. And then you kill a couple more, then it's like, all right, now go back to the original person. So I go back and it's like, all right, now go back to the main hub and talk to that person. I'm like, you have got to be kidding me with these in between missions. There's no reason for them to be that take up that much time. It to me, like that is it's bloating the game to me. And I
yeah,
enjoy the
yeah.
side missions.
No, I agree with you, man. And if I can piggyback off of that a little
Hmm.
bit, there's some side stuff that's just not freaking interesting. Like,
Yeah.
all right, so Martha's Rest, ride or die. I'm
Yep.
a Martha's Rest guy. I will do all the stuff for Martha. She's great. She's your classic heroine. You're like just trying to be chivalrous and awesome in these dark times. But like that the desert area,
Yeah.
I don't care about those people at all. Like and
Mm-mm.
you have to keep going back to them and doing missions. Even Northreach, which
Hmm.
has that area that's more that or that's less forgiving of bears, and they have like it's like where the castle is. You guys know where it is.
Yep.
I don't care about Northreach either. That's I'm forgetting her name, but she's like the concubine. She's
Yeah.
the one
She's
who
got the
gives you all.
brothel.
Yeah, she's got the brothel. I don't
Hmm.
care.
Yep.
Like, so for people like me who really only care about Martha's Rest and where that's going, like
Are you still doing all
I,
like the side missions and stuff?
I am. And I'm
Okay.
doing all the hunts as
Yeah.
well.
See, I've done all the hunts that I can, even the S's, because like those ones were tough. But
They are.
I just feel like those main in between missions are the worst part of this game. The side missions, some of them are but I feel like the majority of them give you something important in return. Like you do a side mission, it's like, all right, cool, now you got a chocobo. Do another side mission, it's like, all right, cool, now you can carry more potions or something. You
Yeah.
know, like they give you stuff that you're like, I'm not wasting my time. I'm getting something from this. But those main ones, God, they're bad. They're just
Yeah.
bad.
And then like, yeah, and then after you do it, it's just like, all right, and it's like, do we have our team? Do we have our team? Clive, are you good? Clive,
Yeah.
you're good. Okay, Jill, are you good? And then you go, and it's just like this monumental world-ending fight
Hmm.
where you're like, oh my God, and you're dealing with those
Yep.
60-second prompts when
Yep.
when you're Ifrit or Ifrit, or I always say his name wrong. And then you go back and it's just like winding down and you're like, "Oh my god, can I just not have to talk to one more person?"
Oh,
Literally.
those history lessons.
Yeah.
Oh my God, get them out of here. Are you kidding me? They're terrible. With
I
the
don't know
lady
why.
with the board, just
Yeah.
stop.
Why does Clive need somebody to tell him about what's going on in the
Yeah.
realm? It's because of Clive
Yep.
that happened. Like it's just like
Yeah, I don't know. I just like I'm playing this game and I play these boss battles. And I'm like, this is the best game I've played all year. And then I go back and I'm like, this is not the best game I've played all year. But it's close. It's a constant battle in my
oh
mind
my
where
god.
those boss battles make you forget about that 3 hour in between where you were just randomly running from person to person talking.
Yeah.
Man, they could have just condensed it a little bit. And this would have 100% been like, hands down, this is the best game of the year. It's not even close. Like, I don't even
Yeah.
care what else came out this year. This is it. But because of that stuff in there, I'm just like, nope.
Yeah. I don't think you're wrong there, man. Like that's
Yeah.
my low. Like I got over the and I know this isn't a Final Fantasy podcast because we're gonna do
Mhm.
it when we're done, but I got over the
Yeah, we will.
I got over the fact that like like when you have either ice, fire, whatever, there's no type of like elemental weakness that they're
Right.
really exploiting like a normal Final Fantasy thing. I got over all of those things, and that's just one of the things that a Final Fantasy fan over the years had to get over, so to speak.
Yep.
But I don't know. It has some of the best moments in video games this year in terms of what is going on the screen.
Yep.
And then you're like, come on, man.
I have
Like,
two on my best gaming moments of the year. I have two from this game already. Um, yeah, and then it also has some of the lowest. So it's such
yeah.
extreme polar opposites there.
Hmm.
Barry, how about you?
I'm having a lot of fun with the game again. Like, I'm not at the point where I am bored of the side missions yet, but I do know what
Sure.
you mean by like the slow times. Like
Yeah.
the thing is when we look back at Final Fantasy 16, probably at the end of the year or something like that,
Mhm.
we are going to be we're going to remember, hey, do you remember the Garuda boss fight? Do you remember the Typhoon boss fight? Do you remember
Mhm.
this boss fight?
Oh
This
my
boss
god.
fight? And it's
Yep.
going to be like we are going to forget everything else that was
Oh, I
boring.
won't.
That's all we're going to remember is the
I won't. I guarantee you I won't. I'll be
Gentlemen,
fighting.
gentlemen, I texted you last week about the Typhos boss
Yeah.
fight. Tell me
Yep.
tell me that track doesn't slap in that
It's pretty
battle.
good.
That track slaps,
Every
as the
time
kids say.
every time you have one of those big, 30-minute cinematic boss battles, all that music is incredible.
yeah.
Every time
I would have
every time.
during 4th of July. I was at Craig's place and I told him like I'm getting the vinyl for
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 16. Like the icon music is just incredible.
Yep.
It really is amazing how cool and good all of the songs are.
Last question. I know I keep extending our Final Fantasy 16 ness here. There is no reason, and correct me if I'm wrong, you two, to get rid of the Garuda class of that tornado ability is OP for stagger. I'm sorry. I'm still using it for stagger.
I don't even use
That
it anymore.
I've used it
Really?
since I've gotten it. Yeah, and I haven't dropped it. I don't know why.
Hmm.
Well, I know why. It's the tornado, but I can obviously master it and then use it on another icon's ability, which is
Right.
what I should do. But I'm lazy. I think I just corrected my own self and told myself
Yeah.
what to do.
I just found out when I was playing today, 30 hours in, that I could put one of the abilities from like Phoenix on one of the other ones. I had no idea. And that just blew my mind. I was like, wait, I could have like 3 Phoenix abilities? Get out of town.
Right.
So
Yeah.
cool.
But
But yes.
what we'll do is we're gonna get into the extracurricular part of this podcast here, and because I tend to copy the same thing that MinMax is doing, we are also going to do the games we want to fight over for the rest of the year here.
Yes.
I have a list of 25 of what I think are the bigger games of this year. Each of us are going to have 3 red buttons in which we like get that game, and if nobody else puts a red button on it, they get it, no questions asked.
Sure.
Whereas if 2 people with red buttons or all of us do it, then we're all going to have to fight for it, I guess. I'm interested to see how this goes, and I will definitely create a little graphic after the end of this in order for everybody to see what games we all had. If you wanted to know last year's winner, Craig has won for the second year in a row with a rating of 71. I came in second with a 68. Craig came in last.
It's that Golem.
with
Was it
with
Gollum that
65.
singularly? I don't remember if I was in
It
first place.
probably did. Yeah, it
Yeah.
probably did. And to
It
be honest, I look back at the Gollum thing. I'm pretty sure we just forced you to take that. I'm pretty sure we just forced that on
No, I remember him saying he would take it though. I remember
you.
him
Okay.
being like,
I think
"Oh, I'll
I think
take
I
that
did.
one." Yeah.
I think I did.
So I do want to give people an idea. We are recording this as of July 9th. So any games afterward, of course, are going to be a little bit harder to add to the list. Regardless, we're going to go down this list here starting in July here. First game I have up, Exo Primal Game Pass, Xbox. Does anybody like, and you don't have to use your red button. We each have 3. But does anybody want this game?
This could be a make or break game.
It
This
is.
freaking this Turok wannabe mess. Capcom is having a fantastic year. I will
They
not
are.
partake. I think it's gonna flop.
I do too. But it
But I'm
could be
like,
really good.
I am kind of mildly interested though.
Oh, I'm definitely going to play it. It's on Game Pass. But I'm not convinced that this isn't going to be like a 60 Metacritic game.
You're not wrong. Probably. I feel like it's going to be like almost an anthem. I
I
feel
have
like
a
stuff
I
that
have a
I see
little
is
bit of
very.
a insight cuz I played the like 2 month ago beta.
Oh, okay.
I'm definitely
Hmm.
passing.
Okay. Going to pass then as well. That's-
What about the Street Fighter crossover,
Nope,
Craig?
it's not going to save this game.
Next
So
up,
nobody wants it. That's
yeah,
fine.
nobody
No.
wants it. We could skip that one. That's fine.
Yep.
Pikmin 4. Anybody other than me? I'm going to take this one.
Nintendo games are a safe bet
Yes.
because they're always going to be rated high.
And I need to win one. I really do. Craig cannot win for a third year in a row. Of
No,
course,
I-
my issue is that I end up taking the sports games.
You always
So-
take the anime games too, which brings you down sometimes.
Now the
Yeah.
anime games are all 100 scores. It's all the sports.
Alchemist,
It's
Alchemist
all
Key.
it's all the NBAs. To
Oh
be
yeah,
honest,
Yeah.
and Madden.
and Madden, correct. So I will take Pikmin 4. Glad I didn't have to
Sure.
fight too hard for that one. I have a feeling I know what games people are going to be fighting over for. So this is going to be fun toward the end here.
Mhm.
I didn't realize how many games are coming out in October. That's
There's
to
a
find
ton.
out as well. Remnants: Rise from the Ashes 2. Dark Souls with guns. If people need
The
a
first
reminder.
one was well loved too.
It was well received.
I'll take that if nobody wants it, but
I knew he's going to take it.
That could be a sleeper.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Good call. I thought about it.
Double Dragon Gaiden: Rise of the Dragon.
That's gonna be a high one too.
What is
For me, like, I don't have any history with the Double Dragon series, so I didn't know if it was something that I put it on for you guys. To be honest, I didn't even.
That's a tough one. I don't think I'm willing to take that one. Let me remind myself what it looks like.
That's what I'm doing as well.
Double Dragon Gaiden, right?
Yeah. Rise of the Dragon. Now I can go to the next one. While you guys are trying
Go
to look
ahead.
at the demo.
Yeah,
for
go
that
ahead.
one. The next one everybody knows because it's been, I guess, advertised very, very aggressively.
Mm-hmm.
Immortals of Avium. the Magic game.
Th-
I am a no. I am the furthest thing from no for this game. So
Man,
whatever you guys
Darn.
want, I am not touching this.
this could
I
be a 90 or a 40.
That's
This
Man,
exactly
that's this
right.
year's Gollum. It's this year's Gollum.
yeah, it is. It's EA,
I'm
so
a no.
they put money into it. I'll
Some
take it. I'll take it. I'm
okay,
taking it. Why
Craig.
not? I have two years of winning under my belt. I'll take some chances this year.
You could take some risks. Yeah.
Yeah, why not? I'll take Immortals.
You guys have an opinion on Double Dragon?
Oh, I don't want it.
No on that. No on that, good sir.
All right, Baldur's Gate 3.
That's gonna be high too.
Yeah, it is. I want to take it as a fan of like D&D, and like also my roommate has the demo for it, or like has the
Mhm.
early access. The game's practically out, but just not fully in a way.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to not like. I almost didn't want to put it on the list just because there
Yeah.
has been like such a demo out for it, but it technically releases in August.
Here's the thing: I would take it because I know it's going to be ranked high, but like I don't play those games, so I won't take it. If it's not something I would play, I'm not going to take it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Craig, and actually both of your points there. I just am not fully interested in it. I play games like this. It's just what I saw did not make me want to
Right.
play this game.
That's fair.
I'll take it, but I'll also
Okay.
take it with like a grain of salt.
Sure.
Let's be fair.
Fair.
A very popular to the indie game, Moving Out 2.
I'll take that.
I had a feeling you would. I remember how much you liked
That's
the.
fitting.
Yep. For sure.
That's
I'll take
fitting.
that.
And if it helps your score, that's even more fitting because of the indie flair. That's opposite indie. The indie side that you take is what I mean, Craig.
Sure.
Yeah. And don't everybody jump up for this game at once.
Ooh.
Madden 24.
Yeah, no.
If
You mean
it
you
was
don't want
20
that jumping to the side Patrick Mahomes throw?
That like will probably make people snap their discs.
Yep.
Like if you
Yep.
lose a game online to that, like a diving Patrick Mahomes throw. Like a part of me, I know I'm trying to win this in a competitive way, but I've always taken at least one sports game.
You do.
So
Yep.
I'm taking Madden 24.
All right, you take Madden. That's
It's
fine.
it's going to destroy my score. But also coming out in August, as we've found out, or September, most likely, NBA 24.
I'll take it.
Okay, all right, we got ourselves another sportsman. At least now it's divided. I do appreciate
Yeah.
you taking that one. Armored Core 6: Fires of Rubicon coming out on my birthday.
Let's go.
Are you gonna use a button? Are you gonna use
I
a
don't
button,
know.
Barry?
I don't know.
So Craig
want
would get it then because he put his hand up, unless one of us buttons it.
Yeah, like the thing is like I have no history with
Right.
the Fires of Rubicon Armored Core games.
Armored Core.
But like it's being made by the Dark Souls developer. I'm going to be getting this game no matter
But it's
what.
not a Souls game.
It's not like that's what like I'm also learning from my roommate who's played
Right.
this. It is not a Souls
No.
game.
No.
It is,
And they already said it's not going to be.
yeah.
But
Do you have history with the Armored Core series, Craig? Are you an Armored Core guy?
I played Armored Core a standard amount. I don't think I played more than the better Craig, but I played
played a
Armored
lot of
Core
it.
when I played Armored Core when I was younger.
Yeah.
It was a game to get when you were definitely our age. They had
Mm-hmm.
it was just one of those ones that really caught your eye when you had the one game you could buy for the month on your allowance or whatever.
Yep. No, you can have it if you want. That's fine.
Okay, there we go.
I mean, that's
That's
going to be like
that's a
it's
steal.
going to be a 90. You know it will.
That's a steal, man. I'm
Or
a
it's
lucky
going to be
man
one of
right
those ones where it's such a different game that it's not. I feel like
Yeah.
that could be a portion of it.
True.
Game Informer cover from a couple months ago, Sea of Stars, an indie RPG game with a demo out on Switch. I'm not sure if any of you guys have played it. I know
Mm-mm.
I played the demo. I am very interested in this game, unless one of
There
you
you
guys
go.
wants to take it.
All
All right,
yours.
Take it.
All right, I should probably mention too, we're probably looking at about 8 games at max each
Okay.
as of the moment, so just keep that in mind. We now hit September, where the leading star is Starfield.
I'll use all 3 of my red. No, just playing.
This is a tough one, man. I look
Somebody
at it.
has to take it.
I look at it
We're
as
not. We're not like not leaving this one
I'm
alone.
looking
Like
at it as like I think we're all in the same boat. We're like we're all gonna play it, but like, are any of us gonna get sucked into this game? Because I don't know that I will. I feel like I might play it for like 4 or 5 hours and be like, I'm good.
I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen in the Craig household for me
Mm-hmm.
is I'm going to play Starfield up until when Lies of P comes out on Game Pass 10 days
Yep.
later.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. That's all Starfield's getting from me until I run out of games to play.
This is tough. This is
see,
tough.
like for me, we're not leaving this one blank. It is like
Right.
one of the AAA games this year. Like
Yeah.
for me, I am interested in Starfield, but I have also been very vocal on this podcast about bashing Bethesda. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily deserve this game because I'm mildly interested, but like
All right. I'll
I am
take it.
hesitant.
I'll take it.
Okay. Okay.
Somebody has to. I might as well.
No
So
buttons are being used yet. Are we putting aside a button for Spider-Man 2? Is that what we're all doing?
I have a couple in my
probably
mind that I'm thinking about.
Probably, I know. I know that's one of mine too. But we have Lies of P. That is the next one, which you put it right there. My question is, do I want to use a red button?
Here's the thing. I'm not going to use a button on this game because I have a sneaking suspicion this game's going to get rated low.
Mm,
I like the demo. I liked what I saw, but I have a feeling this one's not going to be rated very well.
Well, like regardless how I feel about it, I feel like other Craig here is a lot more passionate about it than I am.
Sure.
So
yeah, I'm trying to look at games coming after it for red button.
Oh no, you can't
But
do that.
no, you can't. Let me announce them for you.
oh yeah, okay. All right, I
No,
didn't see a
it's
lot.
better if we don't know. It's better if we
Yeah.
don't know. Because then
All
it's
right, you
like,
know
oh,
what?
I shouldn't have used my button. You know what I mean?
It wouldn't be a Craig year if I did not put all of my eggs in a games basket to be disappointed. We used the Biomutant reference.
Yep.
I'm even gonna say the last case of Benedict Fox was mine already this year.
Mhm.
I thought that game was gonna be great, and it's terrible.
Yep.
I'm gonna put my red button on it. Red button, Liza P. It'll be a great story for my kids someday. There we
There
go.
you go.
I like
Remember
it.
that
All
time
right.
that I put a red button on a game, kids? As I'm making them watch our podcast or something.
Now, the next one here, I'm not sure how everybody's going to do with this one. It's Mortal Kombat 1.
Mm.
Uh,
Not a fighting game.
Yeah, I am a fan of watching the
Mhm.
game. I am not a fan of playing this game because I've
Sure.
so then it's kind of one of those games where who's actually interested in playing it.
Right.
How many games do I have already? I forgot to
Give me
write
one
the other
second.
ones down.
I have 4.
1, 2. You have 2.
Is that it?
I'll
What does he have? Remnant and Liza P?
Oh no,
no,
he's
I
got
have
3.
I have
All
Armored
right.
Core. I have Armored Core.
Yeah,
Armored
he's
Core.
got 3. He's got 3.
This one will probably be ranked pretty high.
I'll take it. No red button if everybody's.
Oh
iffy
yeah,
on it.
no, I think somebody should take this game. It was just a matter of like for me, it is what it is. Like
Yeah.
with fighting
Mortal
games,
Kombat. I was
go
going to
ahead.
say Mortal Kombat to me right now is that game I'm staring at in a cart on multiple retail sites, knowing that I would want to spend money on a lot of games in that time frame. Like September and October is a very expensive time frame for any
Mhm.
gamer. So
Yep.
like that's what Mortal Kombat is to me yet. I haven't pre-ordered it. I might do like a buy when it's out kind of thing
Yeah.
so that I can fiscally feel okay, because I told you guys the last time I was on this podcast, I already dumped my money into the collector's edition of Spider-Man 2.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy that September has a lot of Game Pass games. I also pre-ordered 3 Switch games. So I'm going ham. I don't know what I'm doing.
Mhm.
My
Well, yeah,
money's
and
gone.
also I also want to say like we can probably remember too that a lot of the times fighting games, especially during the holiday season, are going to drop like $20.
Yep.
So even no matter how great this game could be, it may be something where I pick it up on discount sort of
Yeah.
deal just because
Yeah.
it is such a They're such beautiful games. The
Oh, this is
Mortal
a
Kombat ones.
this is a selfish plug here again, but this is a GameFly game for me
Yeah, yeah.
for sure.
Now, anybody interested in Payday 3?
No, stay far away from that game.
Figured I'd
Actually, you know
ask.
what? I'll still download it because it's on Game Pass. I'll
Yeah,
check it
no,
out.
it's like the same thing for me. Like I'm not going to claim this game by any means, but I remember
Right.
playing Payday 1 and having some modicum of fun with
Yeah,
my
they're
friends.
okay. Yeah,
So,
the
if
people who
get enough
play it
people to
are
play it,
obnoxious.
yeah, yeah.
Like they take
Yeah.
it so seriously that like if you're just trying to jump into this game with no knowledge, you're probably going to get yelled at by people playing this game because
Oh
you're not
yeah.
doing it correctly. It's like Counter-Strike.
hmm
Oh my god, yeah. That base is hard. That fan
Yep,
base is
it
hard.
is.
This one's kind of with an asterisk, but I had to put
Sure.
it on there. Cyberpunk 2077,
The
Phantom
DLC.
Liberty.
I don't care about that game anymore.
I'm interested.
Okay.
You both seem to be kind of conceding to that for the most part. I'm gonna put Phantom. I'll put Phantom Liberty on mine if you, Craig, do not want it at all. Like I'm interested in what everything I keep hearing about on the internet right now, and I watch way too many YouTube videos to press. But there is kind of feeling like there is a resurgence of Cyberpunk with all of the updates that they're doing in lieu
Oh yeah.
of this
Oh yeah.
DLC.
Mhm.
That it seems as though like this game may finally be what the gaming gods brought down to us. Just 2 years later.
Here's what I'll say. I am interested in the Idris Elba cutscenes that I will later watch somebody do for me. I don't know if I'm gonna. I don't know if I'm gonna play the game itself. I respect shout outs to the resurgence that is the correct game of what it should be, and
Sure.
everything that and all the love that's been put into it. It's like No Man's Sky if they did it from the beginning. Like or at least right after, because like No Man's Sky had a similar thing, right? Where they just like pumped a bunch of stuff into it and they were like, look, our game wasn't great at launch or it wasn't as well received as it should be. Here's awesome stuff. And now No Man's Sky is the same thing. Or similar.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Agreed.
All
but
right then.
it's a no from me, dog.
Now, usually around the September timeframe, and I will say we haven't seen anything about this game yet, but I can assume that we're going to be getting another soccer game, EA Sports FC, which I mentioned as well.
Yep.
I'm not using a button on it, but
No, I'm not. I won't touch it.
yeah, I'm the super soccer fan here, so that one's a stretch. I'm gonna put my name on it because I am such a huge soccer fan. But
You know what's a shame is that we do this always like halfway through the year, right? Is that we won't have the chance to fight over the college football game next year because it'll already be out.
Yeah. Barry.
Because we
said
be
you're
fighting.
Yeah, you guys would be. Barry, I just had to say football is life. I just figured you would appreciate that. Football is
Lasso.
life.
Yes.
I love
Ted
that
Lasso, though, good show.
Yep. Good show. And also in the last EA FIFA game. You can
Also
play
in
as them.
Transformers.
And in Transformers.
Okay.
Okay.
Detective Pikachu Returns. We now hit October.
Nope. You can't pay me to take that one. Nope.
See, here's the thing: is I want to take it, but I always feel like this happens to me every year, where I end up taking too many games, and then I end up having to concede a game that I want.
How many do you have right now? Because I have 4.
So I have 1, 2,
I thought you were gonna stop at 1.
3,
We
4,
haven't even hit any
5,
anime games yet.
6. I've got 6.
You got
You have 6. I have 4.
Yeah, I have
I have
Pikmin,
4.
Baldur's Gate, Madden, Sea of Stars, Phantom Liberty.
I mean, we're hard capped on
NEA.
8? Like we each get 8? Is that what we're doing?
I don't know. Like I'd like to at least have us like some sort of like evenness. I guess we'll just continue to go. I will take Pokemon because I am the Pokemon nerd here. But what I'll do is I'll see where we are at the end, and I'll cross some out that I'm not as popular with.
Yeah,
Take,
nobody's gonna fight you on that one.
Yeah.
No.
But what nobody else I think is going to also fight on Forza Motorsport.
That's a no for me, dog.
I'll
But
take
you guys
it.
already
'Cause
knew that.
I'll
Okay.
take it. I know that one's gonna be rated high.
Probably, yeah. You're not wrong.
Oh yeah, strategic. I like it. Also,
That's a
That's
strategic take because that's gonna be like a 90 game.
Yeah.
They always are.
Yeah, and they're pretty games. Like
Yep.
there's
Yep.
no denying that they are really pretty games. But I just am I've always been more a fan of like street racing.
Yeah,
Like
me
the
too.
organized racing isn't I don't find it as fun, I guess.
Gran
But
Turismo is fun.
yeah, it is.
Mhm.
I could say Gran Turismo is fun. Just too many things on the screen all at once. I've got no idea what's going on. Assassin's Creed Mirage.
That's a tough one.
I have
He's
the
gonna
lowest amount of games,
take it.
but I feel bad taking it from Barry because there is no man that I know that has played Assassin's Creed Odyssey specifically more than I don't know. I don't know why I'm making fun of how many hours you put into Odyssey. Rightfully so, because that is a great game. But
Sure.
I'll take Mirage. It
Could
it
be a
I
evens it
return to
out.
form.
Yeah, like I do think that Mirage is going to go highly. I will say you do have the least amount of games, so I'm going to concede to you here. I think the main reason I'm just going to defend myself real quick. Um, the only reason I put so many hours into Odyssey and Valhalla, I think, is because I was injured and I
Yeah.
could not move.
Ah,
Um, so that would be where I was like, 6 months where all I could do was play a video game, and those two games, great when you can't do anything else.
True.
yeah.
Um, but
So
overall, yeah, Mirage is gonna
also,
be good. I'm excited for that.
yeah, I'm excited too. Also, side note, the stuff we've been hearing about Flag as a remake and
Mhm.
how essentially, I forgot to say this actually. Skull and Bones should just stop
Yeah.
because they're just going to remake Black Flag. But anyway, side note.
We're gonna find out that Skull and Bones was just like a cross promotional thing for Black Flag remake.
Yep.
That's what it's
Oh
gonna be.
wow.
That'd be
Yeah.
pretty wild if they just combined it. Yeah.
Now, Lords of the Fallen, the very, very
Yeah.
Dark Souls looking game out of the entire list.
This is a tough one. This is a hit or miss. Man,
Craig
that's a
wants
tough
it.
one.
Craig's gonna have it. Okay, like
You already have
yeah. Look at
Liza
you.
P. Why don't you take Lords of the Fallen too?
Yeah.
I will give me all the Dark Souls. I want to break my controller half the time,
It
half
looks
the year I'm
good.
playing games. Yeah,
All
it
right.
does.
Nobody has used a red button. Well, you've used your red button, Craig. But okay.
Lies of P.
Alan Wake 2. I don't think anybody really has a fight against Craig
That's
here
fine.
Nobody.
for Alan Wake 2.
Nobody.
Yeah, I mean, this one could come back to bite me, but
I
I'll
see it
take
as a
it.
strong 84 to 86. That's what I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
yeah.
That's
I hope
my
so.
Metacritic. I hope so too.
I'm just hoping it's not like overwhelmingly in the survival horror category, and everybody's like, "No, this isn't what we wanted." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the only thing I could see bringing it down. But
Yeah,
I'll take it. I have to take it.
you do.
I don't have a choice.
Yeah, you're the defender. I gave it
Yeah,
to you. I
yeah.
literally just like handed
That's
it to
fair.
you. There was no argument. All right. Marvel Spider-Man 2. I'm red buttoning this game.
That's fine. I'll let you use your red button on
What about you, Craig? The other collector edition.
it.
Technically, you pre-ordered the collector's edition first, so I have to allow you to have it. It was your enthusiasm about your purchase collector's edition that later made me want to and made me inspired me, I should say, to
This is a
get that.
lock. If ever there was a lock in a game being rated high, it's this.
It's the
Yeah, and
safest
like
game.
I missed out on God of War last year,
Mm-hmm.
which Craig you got, and I think other Craig here also got a very popular game. If I can't
I
remember which
did.
one it was, and I like ended up with all the anime and like Bayonetta 3, which is
Yeah.
Yeah.
anime. So
Yeah, take
this
it.
is my retribution tour. I am saying I'm using a red button here without
Yep.
like question. Like
Sure.
you guys know my love for Miles, and I know he's not the only Spider-Man in this game, but I think I might be one of the only people that just like hop onto the Spider-Man games just to swing around. Still, so
I did it not too long ago after I saw the movie. I downloaded Miles for a little bit.
Super Mario Bros. Wonder.
Oh.
I want it. We got to
I
fight
won.
on it.
Can I bargain?
What?
Bargain.
What are you
This
trying to bargain?
okay. Bargain.
I'm just
This is an interesting turn of events here.
I I won't fight on Wonder if I get RPG, but that means Barry has to put his opinion in there as well. I want RPG. I want Super Mario
I
RPG.
can't guarantee you that.
I will. Okay. I actually, but I don't have an argument for Wonder. That's to why I should have it.
Don't make
Take
me
it.
bring. Don't. I was gonna say
Take it.
I'll go grab all my numerous Super Nintendo games and pile
No,
them up
take
here
it.
for Super Mario RPG.
Take it. We're
uh,
gentlemen here. We have
to
rules and
me,
regulations.
Super Mario Wonder was the one where I was like, I'm not gonna fight either of you on Spider-Man because I feel like Super Mario Wonder is also a safe pick to be rated very highly.
It
Yeah.
is.
It's a Mario game.
Yeah. So yeah, I get. So Craig, I will give you Super Mario Wonder here as well. I'm interested to see what you guys do with some of the other stuff. City Skylines 2. Like Craig, you would played a decent amount of that game, right?
I don't want it though.
Oh, okay. We can skip that one. I put it on here just because I was trying to find games that I knew other people
I
liked.
have 7 if I'm counting. Yeah, I have 7 right now. So
Okay. All right.
I'm
Let me
trying not
just.
to take them all.
Fair enough. That's usually my issue.
Yeah.
Metal Gear Collection Volume 1.
Yeah, Craig
Oh,
can have
sorry.
that
We're
one.
not. Sorry, we're not at an auction. Sorry, like I just went like this.
Where's my paddle to hold up?
Oh my god.
Also, probably a safe bet, unless they
Yeah.
just totally mess it up. But I don't know how they did. They're just porting it over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now, you two can go at it if you want. Super Mario RPG. I have no history with this game. I can't. I have no platform.
I mean,
might
this is a safe bet too.
I might red button it, man.
Well, you both have red. You have a red button. Craig still has all 3 of his red buttons.
It's true. It'll be how many red buttons do you want to wager? And you only have
Yeah.
2, and I have 3.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It
We'll
might
see.
just
Like
come down to that.
we'll see. Like I'm
No,
thinking about it.
what you said was fair. You can have RPG since you gave me Wonder. That's fine.
Should we use the red button on it?
Yeah, I'm gonna say that you use
Yes.
the red button on it.
Because
That's
like
fine.
I'm thinking in a tactful way here. Like
Mhm.
I know because I pre-ordered RPG when that's coming out because so like we're in November.
Mhm.
So I'm not foreseeing many red buttonable to make up a word here things that I would anyway. I'm just
Not
giving away my
terribly wrong.
strategy.
Yeah. Sure.
So now we're heading into some of the other games. Some December, some November, some also with no release date, but I think they're gonna release this year. The day before, I had to mention this one. Like, I don't think any of us want it, but I had to mention.
Nope.
We are contractually obligated. Thank you for sponsoring our podcast the day before.
I wish.
All right. So another fun one: Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora.
Game looks like trash.
All right. I'm glad I'm not the only one. I did. My one buddy was like, Avatar. For me, this is not it. This is
No.
not it for me. I know some people really like the Avatar universe, but for
Not
it's just not it.
Just a weird choice for a game.
Okay, some of the ones with no dates as of right now. This is probably a me game, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. It is the re-updated of the fighting version of the game. I really liked that anime fighting game.
Sure.
I'm for this one, big time. And,
This is interesting too, because if it doesn't come out, then you're missing out,
You're right.
which
Yeah,
could
you're
hurt you or help you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
Are any of you interested in Sonic Superstars, which I do think will release this year?
No.
Yes.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, he
He's
is.
gonna
Yeah,
take
he
it.
is. I like it.
Okay.
Now, for the most part, I was just going to take this section. Are there any other games that you guys think I missed?
Let me look real quick because I have 7,
Uh,
right? Let me just look through my coming out list and see if there's anything I want to claim for my 8th one that hasn't been mentioned.
what about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? I do have 8. But if I didn't, I would ask for Persona 5 Tactica.
Oh,
Okay.
how did I?
Yeah, you missed that one.
How did I
I
miss
was
that one?
I don't know. That was what I was saving my other red button for. Sorry.
You remembered it. You get it.
There you
That's your
go.
red.
Yes.
That's your final red button though, because I somehow missed that.
Yes.
That comes out, I think in November as well.
Atlas does not know how to make bad games. They do not know.
At least when it comes to like the Persona stuff.
Okay,
Or
so
Persona.
when I look at my list, I can't I don't think my list screams I'm gonna win this year, personally.
Yeah.
So for my 8th one, let me get Alone in the Dark.
Oh
Okay.
Because I
yeah.
feel like that could be a game that comes out and it's like absolutely terrible. But I'll put it on my list as my 8th one because um I think one of you two will probably beat me this year. So I want to go I'm trying to be like super risk taking this year. And I feel like Alan Wake, Alone in the Dark, and Immortals of Avium are those are some big risk takers.
Like,
Definitely.
should we? Does anybody want Hogwarts Legacy on Switch?
That doesn't count. Stop it. That's going to be terribly
No.
rated.
Yeah.
All right. So here, let me just count up how many games I have. I probably have enough to be
I have
honest.
8.
3,
I somehow
4,
have 9.
Barry, do you want the Caligula effect
5,
too?
6,
Or perhaps
7,
WarioWare
8.
Move It?
I have exactly 8, not including Grand Blue Fantasy versus Relink, which is now 9.
Now, there's one that you need to add to your list, Barry.
Are you talking about Star Ocean, the second?
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Okay.
So this one that I'm about to tell you has to go on your list. I know you already have 8, but this one needs to go on there.
Okay.
Thirsty suitors.
And it is 100% you defeat monsters and gain strong weapons and armor. You may be defeated, but don't give up. Become stronger. I believe there will be a day where the heroes defeat the Devil King.
Now I do want to ask you.
Is that the
Yes.
title?
Yes, that's
Yes.
the title. We talked
when do you
about
have
this,
that
Barry.
game coming out?
November 30th.
November 30th. Okay, in the list I have here, it's not
Okay.
on there, which is probably why I did not see it.
That one needs to go on your list if it does come out. That one belongs on your list.
No, yeah. So yeah, here's what I'm gonna put.
And also write the whole thing.
Really long
It's
anime
Just
title
Monu.
gave Craig said to take.
That's fair. Monu.
Yeah, no, I'll take that. Absolutely. And when it's the best JRPG of our time, I will sit
Yes.
atop my throne and laugh.
What about Gangs of Sherwood?
Gangs of Sherwood.
That's like that cooperative game that got announced a year or two ago. That's supposed to come out in October.
It's really hard to find like a definitive list for all the games coming out. That's how I feel.
I feel like that could be good. There's the RoboCop game coming out. There's the Crew Motorfest, which is that Forza ripoff. Samba de Amigo Party Central.
That's right. Yeah,
that's out there. One. That's soon. Atlas Fallen. That's August 10th. That one looks interesting.
I don't know why. One of the sites here has Stalker 2 out in December with question marks.
No.
Heart of Chernobyl: The Zone Awaits with a parentheses on Steam.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take WarioWare Move It.
Okay.
Right.
I don't care.
All right, that'll put you at 9.
That gives me 9. I'll take that.
I don't know how I ended up with 9.
Move It. Okay, so I have 9. Barry, you have 9.
Yep.
All right, so we're good. We all have 9.
All right.
We all have 9. This is I think the most fair race we've ever put on.
This is pretty fair.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited for what inevitably is our, our game of the years and such, and just everything, just to see where everything lands.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, just as I shouldn't even mention the transition there. What games did we miss? I want you guys to let us know on YouTube or your podcast listening platform of choice. If you could review us or share us on your podcast listening platform, we would appreciate it. And if you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. I have made a TikTok. You can follow our TikTok. I'll be in the comments, and you can tell us all how Barry picks the worst taste in Final Fantasy games or worst taste in the games in this list here. I feel so. I just want to say thank you for everybody for the support that you guys give us, and we will see you guys next time.
See you later.
Bye, guys.